Welcome back to NBA Today, joined now by the host of the Lowe Post podcast, Zach Lowe. All right, guys, we're going to go coast to coast here with you. We'll start with Zach first up. The Bucks beat the brakes off the Hornets, 130-106 last night. Giannis led the way with 26 points, 16 boards, while Jrue Holiday chipped in with 21 and 8. So, Zach, the champs are in fifth in the East right now. But would you put money on them winning it all this season again?
I wouldn't put money on anyone at this point, but the Bucks have been my de facto choice since the Nets situation went haywire. But the Heat and the Sixers are making me nervous, but I'm still going Bucks.
All right, next up, don't look now, but the Timberwolves are kind of good. And last night, they knocked off the Cavs 127-122. Cat was clutch down the stretch, hitting a three over Jetty Osman with just under 12 seconds left in regulation. Minnesota now has 15 road wins, the most in a single season since the 2017-18 season. So, Chiney, are the T-Wolves good enough to win a playoff series?
I'm not saying that they will do it, but I will say that they're knocking on the door. Because right now they'd be up against the Warriors, the Suns, or maybe even a Grizzlies team. But their big three averages 65, so maybe.
All right, let's move on to the Raptors, who did a bad thing to the Nets last night, beating them by 36 points. The Nets were without Steve Nash, their head coach, KD, Kyrie, and Ben Simmons, who's yet to play this season. On the other side, though, Scotty Barnes went off, pouring in 28 points and grabbing 16 boards, a season high. Toronto's now 7th in the East, going 8-4 in February. So, Matt, are the Raptors contenders or pretenders?
Pretenders is a harsh word. They're a good team. They're just not championship quality. And I just want to tell the rest of the league right now, beat up on the Nets while you can because help is on the way.
All right, and finally, the Heat remained hot with a 112-99 win over the Bulls. Gabe Vincent and Tyler Hero each had 20 points. Miami got their 9th win in their last 10 games. The Heat are now 3-0 against the Bulls this season. And you know why? They played defense, and they slowed down the lone mid-ranger over there, DeMar DeRozan, who had a streak of 30-point games snapped at 10. By the way, that streak was tied for the second longest by any Bulls player and just one shy of tying the GOAT, Michael Jordan, for the longest streak in franchise history.
What a stat.
So, the Miami Heat put the clamps on the Bulls. So, Zach, we'll start with you. What was last night's outcome more indicative of? The Heat being a legit title contender or the Bulls being, quote-unquote, pretenders, which Matt clearly hates the name?
I know we all want to go on the negative side, and the Bulls' record against good teams is a little troubling, but they're going to be a lot tougher when Lonzo, Caruso, and maybe Pat Williams come back. They're going to be a tough out, and everything's gravy for them. The Bulls have exceeded expectations. So let's be positive. Why is nobody talking about the Miami Heat? They're in first in the East by 2 games. They have something like an 85% chance to get the number 1 seed. Their best players have barely played together all season, and all they do is keep winning and switching and strangling your offense to death every single night. This team is nasty, they're mean, they're unpleasant to play against, and when they actually get all their best players on the floor, watch out. Nobody wants any part of these guys. Last night was about Miami crushing the Bulls without Kyle Lowry because that's what they've been doing all season.
Zach, first of all, nice haircut.
Yeah. I was going to say that.
Nice haircut. I see you trimmed up. But Miami is one of those teams that's really been floating under the radar, and I think they prefer that. You know, they've got a great team starting in Spo. They got some key veterans that have been there, done that in Kyle Lowry, P.J. Tucker. And I forgot myself, I saw on Instagram, I think 2 days ago, Victor Oladipo's coming back. You know, so if he can give them anything, that's just icing on the cake. But really, Spo, you saw the strategy yesterday with to take DeMar DeRozan out of the game. They were able to do that and slow him down. So I'm a big fan. This team is just 2 years removed from the finals. A very blue-collar, hard-working team, like you guys say, that plays defense. So they're always going to have a chance.
Yeah, and when you get, a lot of depth and production from guys like Tyler Hero, who's probably leading for Sixth Man of the Year, right? When you can get Gabe Vincent that can drop 20, I mean, that depth is going to help them offensively. But you're right, Zach, it really starts with the defense. I mean, you mentioned switching. These guys switch for their lives, and they do it well. And it starts with Bam Adebayo being able to hold down that center position at 6'9". If he's not able to do that, this means nothing else is possible. But he can switch out on guards, and that's what makes everything go. I mean, they held the Bulls to their lowest scoring output, 99 points, for over a month. The Bulls have been on fire. DeMar DeRozan, the lone mid-ranger, as you said, George, has been on fire. And guess what? They're just like, you know what? Hold on, wait a minute. Let's do our thing. And so, yeah, we should absolutely be talking about the Miami Heat. You mentioned it. 2 years ago, they were in the finals. They have reloaded PJ Tucker, Kyle Lowry. Those are guys that really help that defensive engine. And then now they're positioning themselves to make a run in the playoffs.
And to your point, Janae, with Bam just switching on everything, outside of Boston, Miami switches more than anyone in the league defensively. And Bam probably should get some love for Defensive Player of the Year, to be honest with you, because he's arguably the most versatile guy we have in the sport, guarding 1 through 5. And he shut down DeRozan in a lot of ways. DeRozan had 18 points on 16 shots. We saw the 30-point streak snap, and they were able to put PJ Tucker on Vucevic and kind of control and seal the paint off there, while Jimmy Butler can roam as basically a free safety on defense. That's when they're at their best. They're only going to get better, to Zach's point, because they haven't played with their entire group very much. 74 minutes, which Zach mentioned on the Lowe Post podcast that I was a guest on. So if someone's talking to Miami Heat, it's us here and me and Zach earlier today on the Lowe Post podcast. So you can subscribe, rate, and review and listen to it there.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN Plus right now.